Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, and with me, as every Saturday night, is my lovely wife, Rach.
Hello.
So we were struggling. We were struggling. It's real. No, we were really trying to. We've had a busy week, but a very wet week. So we've accomplished stuff, but not all that what we wanted to accomplish to be accomplished. We still
hmm
got more planting, more weeding.
Yep.
Um,
We have to do the front.
we got to do the front. And it's just been too damn. Uh, feeling. If you're in New York, you remember the mayoral candidate from the party. The rent is too damn high. Well, the
The
yard
weather
is
is too damn rainy.
the yard is too damn wet.
Mm, that's true.
Because the front yard, you're knee deep in plants. So we need a day or two for it to dry out before we can get in there and literally pull out a lot of the weeds,
hmm
which is going to be yeoman's work, as they say. So, Paul, hello from the hot tub. You're already making Rach very jealous.
Oh,
He goes, summer has arrived.
when can we get one? We have
uh,
plenty of room out there.
do we?
Yeah, we just need to, ditch the picnic table, maybe put it
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay. Good luck on that one. Just saying.
Yeah.
I know. Put it on the back porch. Just ditch the grill and
Well,
add.
no, because you'd be stepping out the door into the hot tub, which would not be bad.
I would say better chance for the Poconos, but there's no way that would fit on that back porch, and no way the back porch would
No.
support it. Back
It would
porch
need, the whole back porch would need to be like,
replace.
yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to build it around the hot tub. Yeah, well then you can have a built-in hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like a step down. Kim, welcome, Kim. We're gonna see you in
North Texas.
yeah in a week and a half, just about.
Yeah.
Rory, good to see you. So yeah, North Texas is right around the corner. Of course, Gary got confused. I understand it. This the holiday weekend is this weekend, and then you would normally think that North Texas would be right after the holiday weekend, but it isn't because the new month doesn't start until tomorrow, and
Right.
North Texas is the first full weekend of June. So it was confusing. Listen, I
hmm
the inappropriate characters re-rolled live stream. I had to find out when that was going to be because I was like, "Is it tomorrow?" Because tomorrow is the last Sunday of May, but it's the holiday weekend, and we've decided that it's actually going to be next weekend because it isn't the holiday weekend, and it's technically still the last weekend
hmm
of May because it's split. Yeah. Oy vey. The elk, elk of Antioch. Good evening, Princess Rachel
Hello.
and Lord Eric. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mhm.
So, we have been getting out in the garden, but not as much as we would have liked. And you know,
Yeah, Monday was a day of a lot of work. Tuesday, maybe a little bit, but then it, you know, started to rain pretty quickly on Tuesday, and then the whole week was shot after that.
right? Like
We
even
haven't seen the sun till today, really.
and even today, we've had two brief rain showers.
Yeah.
And brief, but you hear the rain hitting the AC, and part of what we're trying to do is we, we were replacing the covering on the picnic table and the picnic chairs. Well, the picnic table had us 2 days to dry out, but the chairs we didn't think of removing the
Right, we had to
cover.
remove the stuff
Yeah,
that had been on there a couple of years, and then
and had already retained moisture,
yeah, so we had to leave them to dry out.
so at some point,
Yeah, but it's gonna look really good. The table looked really good with it. It's sort of like a tie dye, kind of a blue tie
yeah,
dye print, for both the table and the benches, and it looks really nice, like in the yard where it is. With all the colors of like our flowers and yeah. Did you take pictures of the
Not this week.
all the flowers that we planted? Oh
No, I did. I did. I showed them last week.
no, we didn't get those until Monday.
Oh, the new. Oh yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah, the ones that you were like, Rachel, it's enough.
We can only have so much room for flowers.
You can have this or you can have that. Which one do you like better?
It's like, but I want,
Both.
I want them all. I want them all.
Oh, there are a lot of beautiful things there. So
Yeah, but I was like, wait, they're 12 packs. You don't need them all. You got it. We
He's
did.
like,
We
this is
did.
a lot of flowers, Rach.
Yeah, we did find some good assortments.
Yeah.
Chad, welcome. Rory, welcome. We have Rory. We've had 4 weeks of 69 degrees Fahrenheit.
Nice.
Blue sky in Ireland.
Nice.
Today we had heavy rain. The farmers rejoice.
Yeah.
The rain has certainly of what we had planted. I only have one plant. One of our two watermelons looks like it's not going to make it.
Yeah, it looks a little
It looks a little
waterlogged.
Yeah, it just doesn't. That shouldn't be the other ones. The other, that's the one of the two raised beds on the sides that has a water indicator that works, and it doesn't look I just don't think it. I don't know. We may have to when raised.
Maybe we'll replace it with something else.
Yeah, we'll see.
What is it when Rach?
What
were you gonna say?
Yeah, when Rach decides that she wants more flowers.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll buy another watermelon or something like that.
Oh yeah, because we need to get more sunny flowers for the 2 little baskets.
See
on the fence. Yeah, I'm already scheming.
she's already working
to get more flowers.
Gotta get more flowers. Gotta get more flowers. I can't believe it's already 2 weeks since Mother's Day.
Yeah, I know.
That flew by. Oh my God! Because we started our shopping on Mother's Day weekend because that's when you had the sales.
Yeah.
And then I found out afterwards when we kept on going back that the same damn sale prices were in effect. They didn't make it.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was just like we went back the full week after, and
it's like
still, I guess that was their pricing.
Yeah, it's like Mother's Day sale and forever until these plants are gone.
Right.
Can't keep them forever.
I'm sure it was the Easter sale too.
I'm sure you're right. So we didn't have any doctor's appointments this week, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. You did.
Yeah, I had the orthopedist, and it went really well. They told me that I don't need to keep going back for follow-up unless I feel like I want to have an injection. He's like, don't come back and, just call me when you need me. Make an appointment for when you need me. Because he sees that there's weight loss, and he sees that my range of motion in my knees has gotten a lot better. My quad strength was really good. And so, yeah, he's just like, make sure you get good sneakers. He recommended like Hoka's and New Balance. I'm dying to try Hoka's. They're expensive though, but we'll see.
If you don't know, we joke about Rach and her scents, her fragrances and stuff. There historically there was always a very close second, and that is shoes.
I've been pretty good the last few years.
You have been. You have been. I'm just saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. So Rory says that his favorite flowers are lavender. Wants to know what our favorite flowers are. So,
oh, lavender is among them.
We planted lavender this year.
So. I love peonies, and roses.
I I love our roses because they are insanely active in the yard. Very, very cool.
Right, they're the forever blooming sort. So they don't just go once. They, they'll die off a little bit, then you trim it back. Then they come back again later in the summer.
Yeah.
And it just does that
I
from
like
like May.
I like pansies because I've always liked pansies since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
My mother loves pansies, so we got to replace the pansies on the front porch because they're not surviving.
But they're going to be impatient.
Oh, Greg, my favorite flower is stomped. And yeah, I'm sure your favorite snow is the New York yellow snow when you go at it. I mean, come on, sir. Paul, great to hear about the knee progress.
Yeah.
And Rory, Brooklyn was the best runners for me. Asics second.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have a pair of Asics too, and they're really good. I've always enjoyed them. Well, since I got them last year.
I've got that, and for Rach, that's like years ago. I got them. I got them all.
My Birkenstocks last. They will last for like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So I have like 4 pairs. So I don't
All right.
need like I'll see sales and I'll be like, oh, that's pretty, or oh, I like that.
All right.
But I don't jump on it because
Okay.
I have 4 pairs.
I'm about to say you've got 4 pairs and a pair lasts 4 or 5. So is that 20 years worth of Birkenstocks that you have already?
Well, no, because you interchange when you wear like my blue ones. I wear with like blue or turquoise. My pink with the gold dual chrome I wear with like my pink things, and then the black I wear with anything else.
There you go.
And one is like a shiny black, and the other there is a dull black. So you have to be ready.
I'd be ready for anything.
Yeah.
Greg, I have stomach distress tonight, so I tuned in for the health bars.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I we don't have a stomach related episode. I can tell you that when my stomach isn't right, the chewable Pepto Bismos do me right, except for the fact that if you don't know this already, Pepto Bismol is a blood thinner. So if you're already on blood thinners, you're thinning your blood even more.
Yeah, I don't mess with it. I just like wait for it to be over and drink a ton of water.
Oh, Paul is sending a picture of where I guess he's currently at. Paul, you're killing me.
Oh Jesus! Oh wow! This is your vacation?
I would assume that's a vacation, or that's a community pool. But damn, that's nice.
Wow.
Rory, Rory just became a patron of Gamers Health.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Much appreciado. And actually, great appreciation to all of our subscribers, all of our members, everybody who supports this channel, all of our viewers. We've had a lot of people gifting memberships and becoming members, and it helps. I mean, honestly, just as a little side note, we were discussing this right beforehand. Part of the current bills that are going through Congress, one is no tax on tips, and one is the idea of no tax on overtime. And no tax on tips is getting a lot of coverage in the media. You don't hear too much about no tax on overtime. And the article I was reading pointed out that probably is because many people in the media, in the news media, worked service jobs beforehand. They worked jobs where they were surviving on tips as waiters and waitresses.
Yeah, sure.
And overtime was probably not something that was in their schedule.
Right. And if you're a salaried person,
right.
you don't really, it doesn't dawn on you in the same way.
So
like I was always salaried, unless I worked in retail.
Right.
And overtime wasn't happening in retail. They were just like, get out of here, we're not paying extra, but unless it was like something really dire. But then, you know, with salaried positions, it was always whatever it takes to get the job done. They don't care how many hours you work extra to make stuff happen.
No, definitely.
No.
So, but listen, Rach and I are retired, so I haven't made a tip on a job since I worked retail.
How did you make tips? We never got
all right,
tips.
So now time out, Rach, time out. I had one tip my first Christmas working retail, working electronics.
Mm-hmm.
I spent about an hour with this family getting them, helping them get all set up with their TV and all that stuff.
Oh, I got nice letters, never any money.
and the guy wanted, and they were a Hispanic family, and they were very happy, and he wanted to tip me, and I'm like, sir, I can't take a tip. So he took the money, shoved it in my pocket, and said, try me. I was like, all right. But then I also worked. I would spend time working stock. I would pick up overtime working stock position. So if you're doing stock in electronics, you bring TVs down, you bring their equipment down, loading it into cars.
Oh, okay.
You had an opportunity to make a little.
I sold lingerie. I wasn't getting any too.
Rory, dude. You get emergency taxed a lot of time for overtime in the UK.
Okay.
It's scandalous.
Yeah, I bet.
Uh-huh. Yes, fair play to him, a man's man. Yeah, he wasn't going to take, no, he wanted to make sure, and it was Christmas, and fuck me. And Paul says that's his backyard.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
God bless you.
You got a whole ton
lot
of acres over there.
A whole lot of pool.
Yeah, I love that.
I think,
so when can we come?
I think your square footage could probably fit this whole house.
Yeah.
just for your pool. Just for your pool. But
We're coming. You
but
might not ever get us to leave.
Very beautiful. And my mother had a couple of years ago. My mother had a wading pool in the backyard.
We was just to laugh. We was just to joke like we're white trash in our pool.
Give me my beer. Guys, I'm gonna sit in my wading pool, and I think it was more important because our niece was young, and she wanted to have a pool for Shannon, or at least that was the excuse.
Yeah, that's not even a conversation anymore.
Kim, now we want to know what Paul's backyard looks like. Listen, Paul, with your permission, I will share this picture, but only with your permission. So just let me know in the chat.
Oh, they're not seeing what we're seeing.
They're not seeing what we're seeing, but if Paul gives permission, I will share it on the screen.
Okay.
I don't do that stuff without permission.
Or you can describe it in the way that you would describe it to
it's fucking big. It's how is it? It's big. Wait, want me to do a Trump impression? It's bigly. It's bigly.
Huge.
It's huge. It's huge. It's so huge. I don't know how huge it could be if it was any huger.
Well, wait. Listen. What I'm seeing is there's like I guess this is the hot tub area that's closest in the foreground.
I guess so.
And then in the background, it's a larger
pool. It's a larger L-shaped pool.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's bigly. Chubby wants to know, does pay what you want count as a tip? I would like to think so, but I don't know. All right, Paul says I can put it up. So.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Rachel's like, yes, we don't have to just describe it. All right, folks.
Right? The whole Gamers Health community is coming.
There you go. We're all gonna hang out in your pool and drink Coronas.
Camp in your backyard if your wife won't let us in.
Yeah. You can just sleep on the inflatable. Bigly huge, Chad. It's bigly huge. It's
Wow, that is gorgina. Oh
so
wait, is that a trampoline back there?
no, it's a sign.
Oh,
And over here, and over,
I was gonna be like, oh my god, it's a trampoline back there, and I'm not allowed to have
no, you're not allowed to have one, Rach. I've only got one wife. Not going to lose my wife in a trampoline accident. How did your wife pass? Well, she's a bit was a bit accident prone.
one.
So she decided to trampoline, and she went managed to trampoline herself to the next reality. I thought at worst all she would do is break another foot and sprain another ankle at the same time, like right before our wedding.
Yeah,
Nothing big.
and I wasn't even doing anything stupid.
Okay, I didn't.
Well, not that being on a trampoline is stupid. It's very good for you.
Chad, it's an ool. Notice there's no P in it. Let's keep it that way.
Oh, I like it. My dad had a sign like that when we were kids and had the pool in the backyard. We don't we don't swim in your toilet, so please don't pee in our pool.
I hope you don't swim in the toilet. It's a little small. Gosh darn it. But yeah, actually, the tipping does YouTube stuff kind of tipping. Also, they used to have a trampoline.
Oh, okay.
Chubby, I had a pool. We sold the house after 2 years of kids not swimming anymore.
Okay.
And I could see how this pools of that size require maintenance.
Oh, they do indeed.
Um, Rory trampolining does some gravity stuff to the lymph nodes or something. So TikTok tells me.
Yeah. Yeah, they said it's so many different benefits.
Oh, I don't know. I don't mess with my lymph nodes. Okay,
Well, because you need,
I know.
and the lymph fluid needs to make it back to your heart, and the only way that it can do,
It's by trampolines.
well, is by moving around and being active.
Okay, so not trampolines.
Yeah, like through exercise.
Okay, so not trampoline. I was just checking.
Not specifically through trampoline, but that's a benefit of it.
Yes, Paul. You do have a very nice ool. we like it bigly. We like it bigly. Rory, I watched my cousin crack 2 ribs in her trampoline after 10 pints at a wedding.
Oh shit! No.
Fair play to him. Only 10 pints. I mean that's that. I would have cracked 2 ribs after about 5 if I got in a trampoline because I have no balance in the first place.
I would never drink and go on a trampoline.
The only way you'd have me on a trampoline is if I drank. I'm just saying. I think about it. Like, in my right mind, with my ability or lack thereof to bend, and you're the flexible one. I'd be the one to be like, oh, first off, do we have stairs going into the trampoline? I need like a nice.
Oh right, usually there's usually like something.
Yeah, you usually sit on the side and yank yourself up.
Oh, but the little ones, no. Like the little rebounder, no.
No, okay, not like we had at your sister's house.
No.
Where you got to put a net around it just to
Yeah,
keep most of people in.
Yeah.
Rory says his cousin walked it off. God, well, that's because of the 10 pints. You see, if it was 5 pints, you wouldn't walk it off afterwards because you'd be suddenly very sober.
Yeah.
At 10 points, those first 10 pints, those first 5 pints, gone. With the second 5, they're just like, yeah, no, don't care. I feel the pain. I just don't care.
Wow.
What's a few
That's
cracks?
wild.
I just want to know what wedding has a trampoline on it. That's just. I want to see the bride in her wedding dress thrown into the trampoline. No.
their first trampolining as a married couple. Maybe they did their first dance in there or something. Maybe they loved the trampoline.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was just like a very small, like nice family thing in the backyard. You know, the backyard wedding kind of thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I just trampolines, pints, and weddings. That's just not, I can combine any of those two, but you put all three
Or maybe
together
they
at
just
one.
wanted to, like, maybe it's a family with a lot of kids and they needed to have like some entertainment for them while the parents were like enjoying themselves.
If you say so. By the way, the wind is really.
Yeah, it is.
We've had a lot of like wind to the point where I don't want to park underneath the dying tree that my neighbors have in front, which my mother insists was killed by Japanese beetles.
The Japanese lantern beetle.
I think it was something different.
Because that's what destroyed the tree out near Nat's school. So it just somehow had to be that.
I'm not going to say anything further on the grounds I may incriminate.
Yeah, no.
But that being said, we are nearing the internal witching hour where we're going to open up the floor to your questions.
Oh yes, it's an ask me anything.
Ask me anything.
Yeah.
I mean, you can listen. You can even go back as far as to ask how our first date went, which was interesting. Pre-Canaan, there's a lot of funny stories from our past. It's
yeah, it can be whatever, and
or just our health questions. You know?
Yeah. And don't be like worried to offend about any kind of like
unless you're Greg.
Health questions.
Yeah, unless you're Greg. Greg will take offense from automatically.
Okay. Yeah, or like the blindness or anything like that. You know, I've gone through my life with people kind of like asking questions about that and what that experience might be like. So I don't mind when people ask about those kind of things. So just so you know.
Rory,
if you don't have any of those questions, that's okay too.
Rory, Eric drove a copper nail into that tree. Did not. And by the way, it would have to be a big copper nail to take out that tree. Okay. And I don't know. And I don't know. I've heard of ringing trees. I've never heard of the copper nail thing. I have heard of killing trees by ringing. That didn't happen here either. You know, I just decided to ask kaput. I don't know if it's a real German word, but it's a German word in this family. Aus kaput. I think that my grandmother, on my father's side, I think she Americanized some German phrase with that one. It's like, das ist ausgeput.
Or she said ausgeblumt about the flowers. Like
the ausgeblumt, yes. Bloomed out. The flower, the flower, Loisy, the flower, the ausgeblumt.
Oh, she used to say Loisy.
Loisy. My mother's name was Lois. Just to clear that up in case somebody's cute. Looking to sue me. Hey, come here for the jokes. Or maybe not. Maybe you don't want to be here for the jokes. But yeah, so I'm trying to think. What we health wise, we got a new scale.
Yeah, this is exciting. I've been using a Hume scale, HUME, and it's an old one. I've had it for several years now, and it comes with an app, and it tells you a lot of nitty gritty details about your weight and stuff like that. And well, they came out with something new that he found, or that
Right.
we found just
Right.
watching YouTube. Um,
And well, I did my internet research on
so
it,
he started checking it out.
and I was like, oh, that's not bad. And listen, anything that can put you in the right direction. So the Hume scale includes, and it almost makes me feel like I should be doing like you could do your weights. It has a bar you hold up at about a little bit past waist height.
Little just past waist height.
Yep.
Oh, not at shoulder
No.
height. Oh,
And
huh.
it helps give further in depth readings of your body.
Yeah, I mean, what does that do to hold that thing up? Does it
It's got a
measure the circumference of your arms
no,
somehow?
no, no. There are electrodes. There's metal plates that you're
Oh,
holding on to.
so you can see how fat your hands are.
Well, I think what it does, it runs a low level current through your body like it does with your feet. So now it
Oh, is
will,
that?
yeah, and that's how they measure your body fat and your bone composition and
Oh.
all this other wonderful fun stuff. So,
Hmm.
yeah, note to Kim, by the way, I'm considering getting a haircut before North Texas, but maybe I let the wild man auction off. They're talking about doing a reverse mohawk, and I'm like, yeah,
Reverse
yeah.
mohawk, meaning from ear to ear over the top.
No, no, like short on top and long on the sides.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
no, I would have to go to the front desk and ask for like those those free disposable razors they give you, just so I could spend the night shaving my head clean, and then I'll get stopped at going back at Dallas because they're gonna look at my ID and look at my hair and go, "What the fuck?" Yes, monk style, essentially, Rory. Yes, ain't happening. Ain't happening.
I don't think I ever knew a monk that had
Brother, well, yeah. When you got to think of the classic monks, like the visual of the monks,
that. I don't think.
when they had that shaved palate, but they still had the hair around the side.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yes, Ken, a reverse mohawk would be crazy. I'm not that crazy.
No.
There are limitations to my amount of craziness. So,
Mm.
or I might just say, hey, like keep on rocking and rolling it. Maybe I'll get to the point where I could be like Frank Metzer and put my hair in a ponytail.
Just your beard. We're not gonna braid that.
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
sorry.
no, no. Rach, I trim my beard, obviously.
No, I know. I just didn't want you getting any big ideas.
Paul wants to know what you, Rach, are looking forward to at North Texas.
A lot of things. I'm looking forward to um, the day, the time out with the spouses of the of everybody,
The
like
women
the
in gaming get together.
generally. Yeah, and so we go take a lunch, and just chat, get to know everybody. And then there's a women's game on Sunday, or a spouse's game on Sunday, I should say.
That's usually the one, though.
Yeah. And that's run by Jen Green, um, Skeeter's wife. And that's a lot of fun, and I enjoy that every year. And then, of course, the swimming pool on the roof. I enjoy like just laying up in the pool and
Watching them.
watching the planes take off from the Dallas airport because it's very close to the airport, and so you lay on your back. If you float in the water and you do your backstroke or whatever, you see the plane coming up, and like you can see the belly of the plane. You can even my situation sometimes I can see whose plane it is. Is it Delta? Is it so they're that low, and it's kind of cool. So. Oh, and the breakfast truck.
Oh my God! Yes.
I figure I'll eat the breakfast truck, and then the restaurant is pretty good, I think, at being like they always have like some sort of salad available, so it'll be okay to stay, uh, you know, compliant with, um, the work that I've done, or not lose the work that I've done.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got a couple of games. Oh, she's also leaving out one thing that we both tried to is that or look forward to, and that's of course seeing everybody from the community.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Rach, what's the inside joke? Where do we have our breakfast? Where do we normally sit?
Oh, we usually sit like, um, so there's a back door,
Mhm.
of the hotel that they have all the breakfast trucks like outside, like away from the building. Um, and then when you go in that door, there's two chairs and a table straight
But what is it
on
right?
that corner
What is it right across?
across from the bathroom, and just beside um like where Darlene and I think Chris Clark was over there last year
Well,
too.
Chris is right around the corner.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that. And it's very close to like all the action and people,
yeah. Everybody
passing.
gets to walk
So at
past
least one of the days we sit there and
one or two,
yeah.
and generally speaking, if Rach is like up in the room doing her yoga and I've got time to kill and I've already
Mhm.
like done my walking through the vending room, I'll sit there and just chill and relax
Yeah.
and let people find me. I go to conventions to socialize. I'm not saying I haven't registered for games. I certainly have, but I go to conventions to socialize. That is my highlight. I, what I love doing these videos. I love doing these live streams.
Yeah, it's really fun to meet people that we've developed relationships with
Yes,
online. And that's happened quite a lot this year. Um, like uh, with certain people that we have found at the conventions. Um,
yeah. You
yeah.
know, I have start listen. My big joke when I was a sergeant in the NYPD, I'm a rookie sergeant. And now I got a roll call, and I got all these fresh faces, and it takes me forever to learn names. And I can learn faces, but putting names, oh my god, I'm very horrible with that. But everybody had a name tag, right? Because it's the
Mhm.
NYPD, so I used to joke, "Thank God you all have name tags."
Yeah.
Well, when we do these videos and do these live streams, you get to see us, whether it's me and Rach or me and Mike or Glenn, but we don't get to see you. So with conventions are often a time where I get a chance to go, oh my, and sometimes people introduce themselves and they go, oh, I watch you, I watch you all the time. I'm like, uh, uh, well, who are you online? Because I know you by your screen names. You know, I don't necessarily know you by your God given name.
Yeah, right. But we
So
don't know government names.
I
We
don't.
only know
You don't know
your screen name,
your alias.
huh?
Rory, have you folks ever seen the research that suggests higher crop yields from plants that have been exposed to classical music? I know
No.
they've been talking about that with houseplants for at least 20 years.
Yeah.
That houseplants do better with classical music. I've never
No,
tried it.
our plants in the bedroom get exposed to yoga chants and things like spiritual music like that. Probably 5 times a week.
There you go.
Yeah, and they seem to be all happy.
They love the chanting. They love the chanting. Um, let's see what else. Um, all right. So a little bit of the inside baseball with Rach and that our first date. Our first date wound up being a comedy club, and that's because my friend Kenny, who I've known since we were in first grade together,
Aw.
Kenny's like, wow, this girl seems legit. Like you guys, I'm like, yeah, we got connection. There's something there. He goes, well, then you want to be able to talk. He goes, so you don't want to go to a movie. But you
Right.
go to a movie and you talk, people are going to want to kill you.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And he goes, and you don't really want to go to a bar because then you're forced to drink,
Right.
and he goes, that makes it awkward too. I go, okay. You don't want to go to a coffee shop, besides the fact that you, Eric, don't drink coffee.
Right.
And he goes, but it's no. He goes, do a comedy club. So that was actually a very good suggestion.
Yeah, it was.
Now, I knew I had found the right woman when. Do you remember what the comedian said?
Something to the effect, he says to me, something to the effect of, oh, yeah, so your husband's an accountant? And I was like, yes.
And it took the whole joke away, and didn't give me up as, oh no, he's a cop. Oh, he's a sergeant. No, none of that. It was just like, yeah, he's an accountant. Oh my
I'm like,
god.
yep.
Yep. She thinks on her feet. This is
I was like,
good.
no, I don't want him.
This is good.
Having to defend his job in here.
Oh yeah. And it was quite literally within walking distance of where I worked at the time.
Yeah,
It was
like Bleecker Street,
yeah.
here in the Greenwich Village.
So it was just over a quarter mile
Yeah.
probably from where I worked. So afterwards we walked back to my car and I drove Rachel home to the Bronx. So I was like, but she's letting me drive her home. She knows I'm not like one of these axe killers or something like
Yes.
that. I passed the initial
Yeah.
the initial clearance there. It's like, oh, thank God. But no,
you probably knew it was going to be going good because like we were standing in line, like it was like Bleecker Street then was still like, you had some people that were still suffering from their addictions.
Still a circus.
And yeah, so like this man and a woman are walking down the street and the lady's yelling at him, where's my money? Where's my money? And then she starts smacking him in the back of the head. And I couldn't help it. I just started like busting out laughing. And the guy at the door, whatever he is.
He was probably.
He's going, oh, you don't even have to bring her in here. Like, you got entertainment over there.
I think, but he probably did comedy there too.
Yeah.
But probably it's like, today you're collecting you're collecting the admission at the door. Proof anybody that looks like they're under 18. Isn't legal drinking age 21? We don't want them looking too young. Got to be careful here. You never know. There could be a cop in the audience.
Who wants to be an accountant?
Wants to be an accountant. It was close enough. I was doing a desk job at the time. And one of my responsibilities at that time was the overtime budget for the bureau I was in. I had the responsibility of divvying that money up to different groups throughout the city, and then justifying who got what, and then generally speaking, see my budget always get approved as it was, because I was very egalitarian and divvying it up. I did the whole formula of, oh, well, this group has 22 people working here. This one only has 14. Therefore, I covered all the bases. So I'm trying to think what else. Come on, hit us with questions, folks. I know, Kim, you've got to have at least one question.
Feel free.
Rory, throw it out there. I mean, when we were getting married, Rach did break one foot and sprain the opposing ankle in one incident. And I really thought that going down the aisle, she would still be on crutches.
No. I did have to wear flat shoes, though. I had to take my 4-inch heels back and get tiny.
And And listen, folks, I'll be the first to.
Oh, and there was no physical therapy. I guess I did that myself.
Yeah, but here and here's the thing though. All right,
Yeah,
when
I'm
it
trying to
comes,
get across Park Avenue
oh yeah,
to my job
it
on
it,
crutches.
it was like watching Frogger. Okay, you played Frogger as a kid. There's Race. But yeah, no. Um, we joke about pulling rank, and the only times I pull rank with Rage are safety issues.
Yeah.
And I told her you can't wear those shoes, and she was very attached to those shoes. And I was like, you can't. I can't risk it.
Well,
I can't risk.
well, yeah. Then he took the liberty of throwing out every high heel that I had.
Listen, I knew how tall you were when I married you. You can't
Yeah.
lie to me. You know, I don't need these shoes for you to lie to me. Where did you two go for your honeymoon? All right. Well, this is a pisser. This is a pisser. All right. So, um, we had a mini moon.
Drink your drink.
Yes, we had a mini moon. So our mini moon was my parents' place in the Poconos because we only had an extended weekend, and that was enough. And then my son, Chris,
Right, we were looking at like the Virgin Islands,
yeah,
like St. John's
yep.
and places on St. Thomas, St. Croix,
And then we were like we'd rather put money into renovations than on this big huge
yeah,
vacation.
we definitely had to do a lot of work up here in this floor to get it ready.
Yeah, and my parents gave us $10,000 toward the renovations, but it only goes so far.
Mm.
And this house was built in like 1905, so we had work that needed to get done. So we did a mini moon in the Poconos, but my son, the one who initially wanted nothing to do with Rachel, and then and then is the one that asked her for her ring size because I wasn't moving fast enough. The best man, my best man at our wedding, God bless, insisted he was going to chauffeur us on our honeymoon, and
that was so funny.
My friend Kenny, his mother, gave my Chris a speech. He didn't. It went one name out the other. He was like,
she's like, "Why are you there?" She was pissed. She was like, "What are you doing? They need time alone. Yeah. They don't need you there."
So
he's like, he never spoke to her again.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, we went to the Poconos. So then and this is the kicker, the actual quote honeymoon going away. Where was that?
I guess it was Texas.
It was North Texas
because that year,
Joe was
supposed to go with you.
Yep.
And
he had car problems. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, well, I can go. And
2014.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, because and it was a rough 2013 into 14 for us. Like a lot of deaths in the family.
It was delayed honeymoon. That was our first real going away together as a couple.
So then he was a married couple.
Right. True.
And so he was like, oh, I was gonna go to Dallas with Joe to play these games. Which I didn't really. I mean, I knew he
had an idea,
an idea about what that he had a hobby and it was games and this kind of stuff. But I didn't think of myself as being a part of it. So I was like, oh, I'm sure there's a train somewhere I could get on and go shopping in Dallas, go looking around the city, just the way I do here. Yeah. And I went to ask about it. once we got to the right hotel. And yeah, no train.
No train.
No, nothing's walkable.
Nope. You're at where you're at. We did have friends in the area, so we did get a little tour.
Yeah, that was really nice.
So Rory, I genuinely did not realize Rach had sight problems.
Yeah.
I have a condition that might be. I'm gonna screw this word up. Necrotizing.
Yeah, that sounds like necrotizing.
Scleritis is the condition.
Is it sort of like a it's like degeneration of some structure in your eye?
Is there anything you feel you've really missed out on? That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, I missed out on being able to drive.
She's had those dreams.
Yeah, I don't have enough sight to be able to drive, and I always wanted to drive. Like, and my father was like, "Oh, maybe we can get you to be able to drive," So he would like try to bring me to doctors for a cure, and then, it's not a curable situation because I was born without the pigment cells on my retinas, which basically reflect the picture of the world. So in order for me not to have gaps in that picture, my eyes move around all the time. And so they can't focus long enough for me to be safe driving. And I don't have enough sight to be able to drive. So that was a really rough time, like as an adolescent, because I wasn't raised in the city. I was raised in Connecticut, where everybody had a car at 16. And so everybody was like, I was lucky that I could drive to school with my sister, but I really wanted to be able to do that. And so, my college years, like, it was difficult, like, because I'd be like at campus, I'd need somebody to pick me up, or I was never the one to like drive anywhere. But what was kind of cool as I was going through my schooling, I had a professor who like kind of took me under his wing and kind of like recommended like social work schools like for my master's in New York City, so that this way I would be able to have more independence and be able to use public transportation, like our buses and our subways, which can get you basically anywhere in this city. So I lived in the Upper West Side for grad school, and then after that I moved to the Bronx, the far north end of the Bronx.
The
so you had to take the bus.
The Irish adjacent area.
Yeah, well, it's basically Little Ireland.
Yes.
it's a neighborhood called Woodlawn, and so that was really nice. Like you could, not everybody drove. People would get on the bus, or
right.
Especially if they were going into the city. So it was like I had to get on the bus to get to the train, and other people were commuting like that too. So like it was easy to blend in that way, Yeah.
He goes, follow up from Rory.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the layers of skin near the surface of the eye.
Oh, okay.
He goes, that's a real insight, talking about your experience with and desire by driving.
Yeah.
Because I was a country lad, passed my test 2 weeks after being legally able to. I drive a Honda Civic Type R, 200 horsepower. It makes driving fun.
Yes.
I was somebody who didn't get a license until I was just short of my 28th birthday.
And if you hadn't chosen the profession you did,
I might never.
You might never. Yeah.
I might have been.
Yeah, some people live here in the city and they don't ever learn to drive because you have this public transport system. Unless you're going to do it as like a career or like to make money.
Right. So for me, to join the NYPD, I needed to have a
Mhm.
license. So my road test was in the middle of winter, and we had just had a blizzard like a week earlier, and it never warmed up. So the roads were still shit, and one of the, I go for my road test. I still remember this very clearly. And New York City, you taking a road test on the roads. It isn't like going to motor vehicles in some states where you do it on a closed track or whatever in a parking lot. You
Oh no,
Yeah, no,
I
it's
didn't know that happened. My brother
yeah,
and sister in Connecticut had to go on
yeah,
the streets
yeah.
and be in it. Yeah.
So you have all these cars lined up, and I'm watching. I'm looking at the car in front of me. I'm like all nervous, and uh, the woman she puts the car in drive. She doesn't even fully pull out of the parking spot, and he failed her
Wow.
because apparently she forgot to turn the turn signal on. So he failed her from the start,
Oh.
and then he comes to my car. My mother gets out, and he goes, "Okay, drive." And he had some foreign Middle Eastern accent. I'm like, I'm dead. I'm dead. So I go, he goes, left turn here, right turn here, left turn here, right turn, and then he gets to a four-way stop. Panic time. I'm like, what? And he only goes, just go. All right, all right. And then he's like, okay, make broken K turn here. Broken U, K turn here. I'm like, I do that. Okay. And he goes, okay, pull over. I'm like, oh shit, I failed. I haven't done my parallel parking yet. New York City parallel parking is huge. If you don't parallel park, you can't
You
park.
can't park anywhere.
And he
Yeah.
goes, okay, you pass. Now,
Oh wow.
now go back, drop me off. I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't know how I passed because I think maybe he didn't like women. Didn't think that anyone should be driving. That's why the woman in front of me failed. I'm just saying. Just saying, there was something going on there. But so when I went through my background check with the NYPD, one of the right things that my detective Bloom, who was my investigator, said, he goes, I goes, Eric, I love you. I go, excuse me. He goes, you're the kind of of prospective recruit that I want. I go, what do you mean? He goes, you've been driving for 6 fucking months. You have no record. You have no tickets, no parking tickets, no moving violations. You are clean. I go, that's good. He goes, it's very good. I don't have to worry about shit with you. Do me a favor between now and when you get sworn in. Oh, yeah? Don't drive. I don't want you getting a ticket.
Funny.
I'm
And
like,
it's interesting because while I wanted to drive so badly, there was like a silver lining to not, which I had no idea about at the time. So like I went through college, and like my dad was really so happy that I got into like um graduate school. Um and so I was like filling out the paperwork to get my Pell Grants and all that stuff. And so he like talks with my mother. He's like, you know um he says to her like, oh, and um she's a really good um person. She doesn't talk about
you kept
the family shit, or like she
even
could
amongst
keep.
the
He's
family.
like, she could keep a secret, even inside the family. I had another family member who got in trouble um legally, and I needed to help them out, like between bail and like paying for like fronting them the money for like because I always worked,
Right.
fronting them the money just to like resolve their situation basically. And so and he's like, and then he says like, Barb, and she never said a word when the other kids got cars. I have two brothers and a sister at the time. And so he was like, they all got you know good cars um when they got their driving license. Maybe we should pay for her for her degree. And I was like, holy, and they came to me about it, and I was like, holy shit,
That's awesome.
say less.
Rory has an observation or a question.
Mhm.
He goes, I wonder, and forgive my ignorance, if being only able to listen really honed your ability as a therapist.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Um, because yeah, when you don't like, and it's funny because you can tell so much from listening to someone. Um, like there, your observation can only go so far um, when you're sitting and like maybe interviewing somebody in the first session or like taking their psychosocial history and like there's stuff that yes you can observe visually, but then there's other stuff that there's other clues that they give you through their breath, through their tone, through certain certain things that come across
Even
as they're
speech patterns,
yes, as they're communicating
where they
with you.
pause. I mean, those are
Yes,
all
exactly.
things
So
I learned doing
yes,
interviews as a cop.
yes, and so like that just kind of developed in me, um, just for a long time, and I think I got interested in it because so I was the babysitter for like a lot of the people that I babysat for when I was younger. Um, like the parents were starting recovery from addiction, whether it was pills, whether it was alcohol. Um, and so, I ended up being, having a lot of like their information, but holding their information. Because I wasn't going to go home and tell my parents, oh, yeah, she's going to these AA meetings. Did you know that? Or and then so like there were it was funny because like there'd be other women or other people that oh we want to go to the meeting tonight, and then it would be like, oh, but we wanted Rachel because I need to go to the meeting too. And I was like, well, look, ladies, you know whose ever house I liked better, I'd be like, let's stay there, or whose ever house I found it easier to manage the children in. I would just be like, let's stay at this house. The kids will sleep until you get home. The kids will be fine. Just bring them to the one location, and then y'all can just pay.
Everybody pays full rate. Rach was doing good business back then.
Yes, so I knew something was going to happen with helping other people, or something might happen like in the addiction space as I started studying.
That's funny.
Yeah, so kind of interesting. And then like, yeah, but definitely you listen to people in a different way, and you look at more than just the visual clues.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like we had people that would come into the clinic um to address heroin addiction, and like I could always tell when somebody was high or not, even though I couldn't see. There were some people I couldn't see fully
Dilation.
I couldn't see like their pupils because they had such dark eyes. And so
Right.
like I couldn't see, like, obviously somebody had light eyes, I'd be like, whoa, they are super pinned, but like people with darker eyes, I couldn't always tell, but like I could tell by a certain tonality in someone's voice, a certain
The way
presentation,
they hold themselves.
floaty kind of, yes.
Yes.
you
Uh,
know well, for heroin anyway.
yeah. So I dealt with broken toys for a number of years in the NYPD, and that was suspended with paid people. And a selection of our broken toys were dull failures
Yeah.
for controlled substances. And there were times when I'd be like, "All right, this guy is." I'd ask him, "Did you take anything before you got here?" No, 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 no. It's like, let me get a second opinion. I'm not a medical professional,
Right.
but I'd get another sergeant over,
Yeah, sure.
and I'd be like, "What do you think, Janice?" She goes, "Oh yeah, he's on something." All right, let's tell the inspector. Let's get him told for cause. And we, we would
And you were spot on.
we were we were spot on. We were
Yeah.
pretty good at that stuff.
Yeah.
So then they got 30 days of unpaid leave before coming back to report to us for their paid suspension.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rory, I think people give more away via tone of voice than they do via body language.
Yes.
They certainly do, but there is it's a complete picture, and you can certainly train yourself depending on your background. Like me, dealing with the suspended with pay people trained me in a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting to get. Just my life experience picked up on a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
so yeah, we're all right. So listen, it's 9:05 here in New York City. 9:06. So, this was going really well. Thank you so much,
Yeah. Thank you so
Rory.
much.
Again, thank you so much. We will be back next Saturday. Now, here's the thing: after next Saturday, the following Saturday is going to be in North Texas.
Are we gonna do a
We
gamer health?
we will likely do a Gamers Health. It might
Okay.
not be as interactive because I might not be able to see the screen as well.
Oh, okay.
And then the following Saturday, we're going to be in Central New York Con. I don't know what's going to happen with Gamers Health over there because we're going to be in a totally different con. I'm not even sure what my schedule is just yet. I have to look.
Yeah. Do we want to maybe let folks know, like on that Friday,
Yeah, we'll let you
as we get a lay of the land
as
up
we get
there?
lay land. Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay.
All right, folks. And like I think I said might be earlier, inappropriate characters, which is on Rumble, uh, with myself, uh, Grim Jim. We're going to be on a week from tomorrow. I know it's a little weird schedule. It'll be Sunday the
June 1st.
no,
No?
no, not June. Oh, yeah, you're right. June 1st. June 1st.
I'm about to sit here and count it.
Yeah, you're right. June 1st. We'll be on. Kim, catch you later.
Thank you for coming.
Chad, thanks, folks. I tried to think of a question, but nothing came. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do this again because
Yeah.
we enjoy it. All right. Cheers.
Cheers. Take care of everybody.
And Rory, I can't read Gaelic. I don't even I cheers, folks. Good night. Oishe. I don't read Gaelic. O I Oiche. Rach might. And then next word is Mhaith.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that one. I only know a few.
Gaelic terms.
Yeah.
I know none.